Do you know that in 1903, Arthur Potter succeeded in making a time machine? Do you know Richard III's famous cry at the Battle of Bosworth Field?
A horse, my kingdom for a horse.
Good evening.
Hello.
And welcome to another edition of Broaden Your Mind.
As this is the last program in this series, we thought we'd do something slightly different.
Yes, as we stand on the threshold of the 1970s, we can look back over the years of progress and achievement that have made up the 20th century.
Yes, and by looking back at our past, perhaps we can learn something of our future.
Well, we've still got time. Let's get straight on with the Broaden Your Mind review of the 20th century. At the end of the 19th century, Europe was still ruled by kings and princes, most of them blood relatives, forming one big family of nations. But beneath the surface, there were hidden tensions soon to be revealed. The dawn of the 20th century was greeted throughout the world with rejoicing, jubilation, and the ringing of bells. But it was shortly to be followed by the death of Queen Victoria. But what of the people? The British people greeted the new century with optimism, apprehension, exhilaration, fear, a sense of wonder, curiosity, doubt, firmness, and jollity. Meanwhile, the storm clouds were gathering over Europe. Then, on August the 4th, 1914, it rained. The early part of the century saw the birth of the suffragette movement, in which Mrs. Pankhurst and her daughters were extremely active. But one woman who probably did more for the cause than any other was Babs Lamour. In her fight for equality, Babs Lamour would stop at nothing to achieve her ends. Then came the Roaring Twenties. In Britain, a new mood was afoot. In the rest of Europe, it was 0.35 meters. Stanley Baldwin's government was in power, and under Baldwin, it was an age of reappraisal, of hard times, of economic instability, and the Charleston. Then, in 1929, Baldwin's government fell. But what of the people? For the British people, this was an age of elegance, squalor, pomp, gaiety, a time for hope, for determination, and for looking back.
Meanwhile, in the theatre, people were flocking to see the light-hearted comedies that were all the rage, and rightly so, packed as they were with inventive humour, wit, elegance, and charm. Let us now recapture that golden era of British theatre with this condensed version of Kenneth La Plume's record-breaking hit, Laugh a Mo.
Hello, Baines the butler speaking.
Yes, madam, this is Bramley Grange on a midsummer's afternoon, sometime in the mid-1930s. Yes, madam, everyone is down here for the weekend. Mr. Nigel Barton is here, and he's just come into the room now. His twin brother Gerald is in the garden, and he probably won't come in until Mr. Nigel has left. No, madam, Mr. Nigel does not have a moustache. His twin brother Gerald is the one with the moustache. Yes, in fact, Cynthia, Mr. Nigel's fiancée, has just entered the room with her parents, Lord and Lady Darling. Yes, madam, Alice is just bringing in the tea. Quite right, madam. There is a war on. Not at all. Thank you, madam.
Baines, who was that?
Wrong number, madam.
Oh, Nigel, how simply withered to see you.
Pretty spiffing to see you, old thing.
Nigel, where's Gerald? Surely he knows the tea is in.
I'll go and get Gerald, my twin brother, Lady Darling. I think he's playing tennis. Won't be a jiffy. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Nigel, you've grown a moustache.
Yes, you like it?
Yes.
Gosh, I've just been playing tennis.
Tennis?
Yes, dash bad luck. Lost my tennis togs on the way down. I say, where's Nigel?
He's just gone off to look for you.
Oh, gosh, well, I just better pop out and go and tell him I'm here. Hello, everyone. Wrong thing, but I can't find Gerald anywhere.
Yeah, Nigel, you've grown a moustache too.
Have I? Yes, so I have.
Oh. Nigel, fetch Gerald. We can't stop tea until both of you are here. You'll probably find him in the bathroom, shaving.
Shaving? Oh, shaving off his new moustache. Good idea. I'll just go here.
What?
Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late. Just been shaving off my new moustache. Nigel says please don't wait for him, as he's, growing a beard. Jolly good tea, Alice.
Thank you, Mr. Nigel.
Oh! Sorry! Don't say sorry, Alice. Help me up with these trousers. They're agony. Oh!
Nigel!
Oh, Cynthia. Oh! Cynthia, I cut off these trousers while I was shaving, and that's why I've grown this beard. Please believe me, Cynthia.
No, I do believe you, Nigel. In any case, I'm not Cynthia. I'm her twin sister, Amanda.
Oh, crikey.
I say, Nigel, you seen that fiancée of yours? Good heavens!
Good Lord, darling. I mean, bloody good Lord. Oh, crikey.
Good grief, man. Can't you wait until you're married?
Oh, no, you don't understand, sir. I took off my trousers because...
Yes.
To send them to the boys in the war. I thought they'd need them at the front.
They'll probably need them at the rear as well. Good idea, my boy. Or jolly well take mine off as well.
Henry! Oh, what on earth are you doing? Nigel isn't your fiancé.
I can explain it all, Lady Darling. We both took our trousers off because
I asked them to, Lady Darling.
Oh, good heavens, Baines. Now, what are you doing?
Beg pardon, madam. Perhaps I should explain. You see, I'm from British intelligence. As Mr. Nigel knows, there was a secret message hidden in those trousers which he's been good enough to carry around for us. We've been suspecting Alice, or Fritz von Gruber, as we know him, some time now. It was Lord Darling's idea to trap him this way.
Oh, Nigel, you're wonderful.
Oh, Cynthia, you've grown a moustache.
Yes, it was my twin sister Amanda's idea. Do you like it?
I think it's topping, old thing.
Henry, I'm proud of you.
No, was nothing, my dear.
Amanda.
Gerald.
Amanda?
But the future of the theatre was threatened. From Hollywood came the talkies. Cinema goers could at last see the new miracle, talking pictures. And filmmakers were quick to realize the possibilities of using sound to heighten their dramatic effects.
Henry, there's something come between us. What is it?
I'm sorry, darling. I should have told you. I'm married.
But the theatre and the cinema had a rival. In 1936, the BBC launched its first television service, though it closed down shortly afterwards. But in those early days, understaffed, inexperienced, with inadequate equipment and no idea of what they were doing, the BBC set the pattern for broadcasting in the future. Here is a rare recording of the very first BBC television broadcast.
Good evening. This is the British Broadcasting Corporation bringing you for the very first time pictures by television. Our next program follows in a few moments. And now our next program follows at once.
Good evening. Here is the news. Tonight, the BBC made its first historic television broadcast.
And now, before our next program, which follows almost immediately, here is a short interlude. Our next program, which follows immediately, is a BBC repeat.
Good evening. Here is the news. Tonight, the BBC made its first historic television broadcast. To mark the occasion, here is a special message from the Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Stanley Baldwin, MP.
I am speaking to you tonight on the electric television. It certainly is very different from just talking to you on the radio. What I have to say to the BBC and to all of you listening at home is this. Good luck, stick with it, and yippee!
Thank you, Prime Minister. And now, here is a news flash. The Prime Minister has just made an historic television broadcast on the BBC.
And now it's time for our brand new popular panel game, What's My Line?
Are you a BBC announcer?
Yes, I am, and for that you score 1 point. But I'm afraid we have to interrupt the program to bring you your regular news bulletin.
Good evening. Here is the news. Following tonight's historic television broadcast to the nation by the Prime Minister, the BBC switchboard has been jammed by Mrs. E. Pusley of Crouch End. So now, by public request, here is a repeat of a program we first broadcast just under 3/4 of a minute ago.
Stick to it! Good luck! And here is a late football result. Arsenal 1, Derby County 2.
Thank you, Prime Minister. And now, before our next interlude, here is a short program.
Yes, tonight is music night, and here to prove it are the George Mitchell Songbirds and Songs for Everyone.
How I love you, my dear old Swanee.
That was Swanee, How I Love You. How I Love You. My dear old Swanee. But now it's time again for What's My Line?
Are you a Prime Minister?
Yes, I am.
And there we must leave What's My Line for the moment. The time now is 8 o'clock, bedtime. September the 1st, 1939. BBC television is now closing down for 10 years. You won't forget to switch off your set, will you?
1939, and Prime Minister Chamberlain returned from Munich with a piece of paper with which he was to astound and amaze the British people.
September 1939. In Europe, a new spirit of nationalism was abroad, as the people of Europe turned on each other in the way that the people of Europe had always dreaded most.
Here we are with the final heat of Guerre Sans Frontières, and the competitors tonight are France, Russia, Germany, and of course Great Britain. Now to mind your result tonight depends on the mini-marathon here. So the teams are already in waiting, so let's get cracking. Oh, well, they had a bit of a false start there. So, while we're waiting, let's meet some of the competitors. Now, here, representing Great Britain, is Tommy Sugden from Yorkshire. He's quite a lad, is Tom. He plays wing three-quarter for Kingston Rovers, and he's going to take some stopping. He's a big lad. And you remember that Tommy put up a grand show in the last heat of the war in France. Now, this is the German lad here, Fritz von Gruber. How are you feeling? Confident tonight, Fritz?
Jawohl.
And what does Fritz do for a living?
Ich bin ein chartered accountant, Herr Werder.
Well, he's certainly got a funny accent. But if you can't understand what he's saying, you'll just have to bat an eye scratching off till Scraggin. Well, the Swiss adjudicator tells me they're ready to go now, and the teams begin to jostle for position. Now, what's this? A late entry. America's entering late. And look at this. Well. Great Britain playing the joker. Well, they must be confident of winning now America's in the war. Well, the team's all ready now. They got their custard pies. So that's all you're getting from me. And over to you, Mr. Starter.
1, 2, 3. And Great Britain win with 10 points for throwing the greatest number of custard pies at Eddie Waring. But then, they do have the biggest grudge.
In the 1940s and 50s, Europe became a smaller place. Faster travel meant that international differences became less and less, and the language barriers began to fall. The BBC, as always, did their bit toward international understanding.
Here is my town. Hello. In our lesson today, we pay a visit to the bank. We go to the bank. À la banque.
Hey, Jean-Baptiste Saint-Marie, pommes frites. Voici la banque.
Oui. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Voici 1 franc. Voici 10 francs. Voici 1 chou. Madeleine, elle a 2 choux.
Oui, j'ai 2 choux.
Voici Mirfonk.
Levez les mains. Voici mon pistolet.
Le pistolet. Le pistolet.
Mon pistolet. Je suis un voleur.
Surprise, surprise.
La main sur la jambe. Non.
Merde! Il est mort.
Je suis mort. Adieu, Monsieur Pomfret.
Today, in our series of how to make your travel allowance go further in France, we have learned the bank, 1,000 francs, hands up, hand over the money, and bang. Next week, we shall all be at the police station. Bonsoir.
Hello. The 20th century has been a time of enormous scientific advance. It has been an age of steam, of electricity, and of nuclear energy. Of the three, electricity is perhaps the most painful. Now, electricity reaches our homes through wires like these. Now, everybody knows that the red wire is live, the green wire is earth, and the black wire is neutral. Everybody knows that. And that's why we're going to change it. So, now the earth becomes green and white, the black neutral wire becomes blue, and the red wire, which is live, becomes brown. Confusing, isn't it? With luck, it should prove as successful as the new continental-style unmanned level crossings. Now, of course, electricity has what other advantages? For example, this electric mixer, which can mix food 200 times faster than by hand. And this electric scraper for scraping the food off the wall. We have here, of course, the electric toothbrush, which eliminates tooth decay, quite simply by eliminating teeth. And our old friend, the electric carving knife. What a beautiful thing that is. You don't stand a chance against it. Now, of course, all these devices need current to run on. And so we here at the British Institute of Applied Science and Technology, and not germ warfare, have developed a scheme for importing electricity to this country. Let me show you what I mean. We are going to bring electricity from Norway to Scotland, so, and from France to London, so. Then, if we switch them both on at exactly the same moment, with luck, we should fuse Wales.
But what of the people? The 60s saw the development of the new permissive society. It was the age of the hovercraft and pop music. Yes, it was a time for the teenager. It was a time for the teenager. The teenager. The age of the maxi skirt and the mini skirt.
The permissive atmosphere of the 60s was also reflected in the theatre, now released from censorship. The American musical Hair, with its controversial nude scene, made a great impact. But Britain, determined to go one stage further, replied with the daring new British musical, Knees. Here is Bill Oddie to sing the title song from the show.
We are the younger generation.
Yeah! We like four-letter words.
Crab, sock,
Twig.
bus. We're proud of our knees.
Yeah!
You got knees. I got knees. We all got knees. Knees. Knees.
beautiful. They're a symbol of rebellion.
We're tired of our parents saying, when are you gonna get your knees cut? Roll up your trousers and live!
Knees are cool.
Knees! I want my knees blowing in the wind. I want the girls to run their fingers through my knees. Knees! With knees I can walk tall. Knees! 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 21, my life's half gone. I haven't got a lot to show. I got no respect, no intellect, and nowhere to go. All round, they put me down, but they never ever make me blue. 'Cause two things I've got, they mean a lot, and I'm gonna show them both to you. Got my knees every morning, got my knees every night. Got my knees every evening, got my knees, ooh, so I'm all right. I got no tie, got no high five, but I got my pride. I got no shame, I'm proud of my name, and I got nothing to hide. I wear short pants whenever I dance, no matter what people say. 'Cause you never seen a pair like this nowhere, and I'm gonna put them on display. Woo! Show my knees to the lady, show my knees to the man, show my knees out in public, show my knees, whenever I can. We don't care. Come on, don't be shy. Give them all a shot. Throw up your socks and roll your trousers high. Left to right, smooth and white. Show for the world to see. You got love when you show naked knees. We got need. We want to show you our need. Please don't my need.
Well, that's all we have time for in the program tonight.
And that's the last show of this particular series.
Yes, we hope you've enjoyed it. But now the time has come to say goodbye.
I would like to finish, appropriately enough, with another of the great hit songs from this trendy, new, pop, smash hit, controversial British musical.